Government in aggressive mode on poor response of 2G spectrum auction. Telecom Minister takes on the opposition for giving more credence to CAG revenue loss estimates. Asserts that policy making should be left to the government. Government rules out apprehensions of further slip in growth of Indian economy amid deepening Eurozone crisis. Finance Minister confident of achieving 5.5% GDP growth this fiscal. Expect growth to pick up in the second half. And stock markets near 2-month lows. Sensex drops 162 points as rate sensitives fall. Sensex closes at 18,309. Nifty sheds over 1% to close at 5,574. Weak Eurozone debt worries hit the sentiment. A very good evening and welcome to this edition of Business Wrap on DD News. I'm Rangabashyam. Let's start off with the big story at this hour. The government today said that it plans to put on auction the circles that went without bids in the 2G spectrum auction by the 31st of March next year. Addressing media in New Delhi, Telecom Minister Kapil Sibal said besides 9,407 crore rupees from the auction, the government will also get 7,936 crore rupees by way of one-time fee to be levied on existing telecom operators holding spectrum more than the prescribed limit. Adopting an aggressive mode on poor response of a 2G spectrum auction, Mr. Sibal said that there are lessons to be learned from the 2G episode.
The government plans to put on auction the circles that went without bids in the just concluded 2G spectrum auction. The auction for the unsold 2G spectrum will be before March 31, 2013. An empowered group of ministers or EGOM will be meeting soon to decide on the next course of action. The announcement was made by Telecom Minister Kapil Sibal at a press conference in New Delhi.
This is something that we will discuss within the EGOM. And we'll decide on a course of action. I think our intent is to try and have another auction before March 31. In what way we'll move forward is something that we will discuss and then take a call on it.
Sibal said that besides rupees 9,400 crore from the auction, the government will also get rupees 7,936 crore by the way of a one-time fee to be levied on existing telecom operators holding spectrum more than the prescribed limit. So, in total, the government expects rupees 17,343 crore from spectrum auction and one-time fee on existing telecom companies. Sibal also expressed dismay at the lackluster auction and said that he is upset that the consumer was not benefited.
Had we been allowed to do what we were charged to do with responsibility, I don't think that we would be in this situation today. We are sad, at least I am sad, that we've not been able to take the sector forward because we have been constrained in our policy prescription.
The 2G auction, which began on 12th of November, lasted just 2 days and got total bids worth rupees 9,400 crore only. It was much less than the ambitious target of rupees 28,000 crore which the government expected to garner from the auction. Siddhant Sibal's report, DD News, New Delhi.
President Pranab Mukherjee and Human Resource Development Minister M.M. Palamraju unveiled version 2 of the Aakash tablet computer earlier this week. The new version will be available to students at a subsidized rate of 1,132 rupees and is set to herald a new revolution in low-cost technology. More in this report.
The advanced version of the low-cost tablet Aakash was launched by President Pranab Mukherjee in New Delhi on 11th November. Coming at a price tag of 1,130 rupees for students, the new version of Aakash will be made available to students of engineering colleges and universities to begin with. Congratulating the HRD Ministry for the initiative, President stressed on the importance of technology being used in educational institutions.
I would emphasize that technology-enabled learning is a very important aspect of education. This must be adapted to our specific needs and introduced expeditiously in all educational institutions across the country.
The HRD minister said that the new version of the low-cost tablet was equipped with better technology and applications to aid students.
You just have seen the version 2 of the Aakash tablet, which is a full-fledged tablet computer with excellent specifications. IIT Bombay, along with the ministry, has created several useful educational applications for the Aakash tablet. Teachers and students in the remotest corner of our country can join a classroom and benefit from lectures delivered by the best teachers.
The government has hailed the Aakash tablet as an achievement of Indian engineering that would end the digital divide in a country where only 1 in every 10 of its 1.2 billion people use the internet. The new version of Aakash 2, powered by 1 GHz processor, has a RAM of 512 MB. Aakash 2 with 7-inch capacitive touchscreen has battery working for 3 hours of normal operations. It has been developed under the aegis of IIT Bombay with an active support of CDAC. DataWind is rolling out the device. The first version of Aakash, called Aakash 1, was launched by the government in October 2011. India has a reputation for creating affordable products that are easy to use and sturdy enough to handle rugged environment, from Tata Motors' $2,000 nano car to generic versions of pharmaceuticals. Hopefully, this will be another feather in the cap of India in low-cost development. Siddhant Sibhal's report, DD News, New Delhi.
Well, for more on that, we are joined by Mr. N.K. Sinha, Additional Secretary of Ministry of HRD, the person behind the Aakash 2 tablet. Mr. Sinha, warm welcome to Business Wrap.
Thank you.
Let's start off with the very basics. First things first, what is the basic purpose of having a tablet like Aakash? Who is your target audience? On whom you have targeted this basic product?
The target audience is those students in the country who can't afford a regular PC or high-end computers. And the purpose is that we should have content, we should have connectivity, but at the end, to access that content through the connectivity, we need a device.
That's right.
And millions of our students may not afford the device. That is why there was an urge to create a device which is highly affordable and can reach our students so that they are not left out in this age of digital empowerment.
Yeah. And is it basically targeted at college students?
Yes, it is for the college students and beyond, but it is also useful for high school students.
Mr. Sinha, I would request you if you could show it to our viewers and to the camera to pick up the images so that the students and our viewers can take a closer look at the tablet. So basically, to begin with, it's basically targeted at college students, and later on,
the capabilities are already there. It can be used even today in its present form by high school students. Okay. In fact, one of the applications already uploaded here are NCERT books, which can be read in the book reader form. So it can be used by anyone. It is a general purpose computer kind of thing in the tablet environment. And so initially we intend to provide it to the college students.
And later on
we want to move towards more number of people in the schools.
Okay. Mr. Sinha, you have been associated with this project for more than 6 years now. You also came out with Aakash 1. Were there major problems with the first product?
Yeah, in fact, in Aakash 1, when it went to the students for their testing, we found 2-3 major difficulties.
Yeah.
Though the price was within the range that we expected, the difficulties were that it had a slower processor of 366 megahertz. And that was ARM11 processor. So many of the applications which are available on Android market or Google Play, etc., could not install, and it was slow. It had a resistive touch. So it was a bit sticky to interact with the computer, and it had 256 megabytes of RAM. So all these things.
So this has a better touch screen?
Now it has a capacitive touch screen. So its user experience is vastly improved. It has 512 MB of RAM. So it gives just double that RAM, and it has 1 gigahertz Cortex A8 processor. So the difference between the two is phenomenal, and the price remains the same. In fact, 13 rupees less. So as we advance further, we hope that more power will be packaged in and price will either be kept the same or even fall.
Okay. You're talking about the power, the capabilities and all. Could you tell us what all capabilities this Aakash 2 has, and probably if you could show it to our viewers as well?
Yeah. For any student in the higher education domain,
Yeah.
first is to access the content on the net.
Okay.
The vast amount of content, e-content that has already been created needs to be accessed. So this device needs to connect to the internet.
Okay.
It connects to the internet through Wi-Fi or through its USB port. One can also put a dongle.
Okay.
So a data card can then connect.
Can be used.
First is that connectivity. It can access the web. It can play high definition movie formats.
Okay.
The NPTEL videos which are available already on our website Sakshat can very easily play on this.
Okay.
It can do the Word kind of applications, the PowerPoint kind of applications, the Excel kind of applications. I am not mentioning them per se,
Yeah.
but the open source equivalents of them.
Yeah.
It can do that.
Yeah.
It can also do computer programming. It can solve differential equations.
Wonderful.
There is
A number
as
of
much as
features.
a-
I wish if you could just show it and also operate it a bit, so that our viewers can see the ease with which you use the touch screen. And
So, for example, this
yeah, maybe you can turn it this side so that and then operate.
Okay,
Yeah. So,
okay.
yeah, that would probably help. Yeah.
So what happens is that not only this tile board, but
Yeah.
whatever we want to operate.
Yeah.
Suppose I want to see the applications. Now this is Aakash.
Yeah.
You want to see what all is already loaded.
Mhm.
So these are the things loaded. You can
Okay.
see the ease with which I can
The touch
change
screen
it.
works. Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
And we can have the applications. I can just do that.
Okay.
See, you can do the programming in C, C++, Python, Scilab. So using Scilab, many people might have heard of MATLAB, which is a very costly software, but it can solve the mathematical problems. Scilab is the open source equivalent of that.
Okay.
So you can do the Scilab and it will open the screen. You write the code here and you will get the result here.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
it can solve the problems. So computer programming, solving the equations, also playing the videos which are available on our net.
Okay.
It can be done. You can control a robot
Okay.
which
Wonderful.
might be remotely controlled through this, and the pictures taken by robot will be relayed to this.
Yeah.
So the applications are being developed today at 7 IITs and we call it Aakash Application Development Labs.
Okay.
And only the imagination of our young bright students,
So sky is the limit. for
sky is
Aakash.
really the
Okay.
limit, and then we are moving ahead.
Okay.
And actually an educational ecosystem is getting created around Aakash,
Really
so that it becomes a very potent educational tool in the hands of Indian students.
Yeah. But tell us, as far as Aakash 2 is concerned, is it useful across disciplines like, say, social sciences, then you have pure sciences, mathematics, biological sciences, literature? Is it across disciplines? It's useful?
Yes, it is. It is a platform. Now, it all depends on the content. What has happened is that we have also developed content which fits into Aakash and it gets played. So, be it social sciences, be it sciences, and be it engineering, it is useful for all. And this tablet can also connect to our virtual labs,
Yeah.
and real experiments could be performed using these tablets
Yeah.
on real equipment, maybe at IIT or maybe at good institutions.
Mr. Sinha will discuss a couple of
Yeah.
more issues, but right now time for a quick break. Well, time for a quick break now, but keep watching for more.
बेटी की आंखों में अभी सपने पलने दो, पले बढ़े खेले रहे स्वस्थ, पढ़कर इसे कुछ बनने दो। बाल विवाह कर न बिखेरें अपनी लाडली के सपनों को। लड़कियों की उम्र 18 और लड़कों की 21 से पहले शादी न कर, ये संदेश दें पूरे देश को।
बचपन का मतलब है शिक्षा और आजादी, न कि चूल्हा चौका शादी। खदानों में पत्थर तोड़ने वाली मशीन चलाता था। बहुत ताकत थी मुझमें, तभी घर वालों ने मेरा नाम बलराज रखा। 7 साल खदानों में मजदूरी की, फिर बीमार पड़ गया।
सिलिका धूल से दूषित हवा में सांस लेकर लाखों मजदूर असमय बीमार होकर मर जाते हैं। सिलिकोसिस नाम की इस घातक लाइलाज बीमारी से बचने के लिए पानी स्प्रे करने वाले उपकरणों का उपयोग करें, मजदूरों को उचित मास्क उपलब्ध कराएं और कार्यस्थल को गीला करते रहें।
सेहत पे न पड़ने देना धूल, सुरक्षा उपायों को न जाना भूल।
Welcome back. You're watching Business Wrap. Let's continue our discussion with Mr. Sinha. Mr. Sinha, after having spoken about Aakash's features and all the details, let's come to the economics now. As far as costing is concerned, how much will it cost to the student?
Okay. The actual manufacturing cost of Aakash is less than 2,263 rupees.
Okay.
In the open market, if you find it out, it will be about $35. But we felt that even this 2,266 rupees per Aakash may be costly. So what we intend to do is that 50% subsidy be provided on these 2,263, so the product could be available to the educational institutions, colleges and universities to begin with at 1,132 rupees. Now what we intend to do is to request these educational institutions to buy it in sufficient numbers, keep it as an Aakash bank, issue it to the students who are needy, who want to use it, just like a library book for no cost. So actually a poor student will not have to pay anything. Only thing is the title, the ownership of Aakash will not get transferred to the student, but it will remain with the institution, who can then take care of its maintenance and other activities much better than an individual.
Mr. Sinha, really wonderful. Let's hope that you really succeed in spreading this revolution, and it revolutionizes teaching and learning experiences. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, let's move.